This is the story about corrupt leader Tuwila Ipa. The rise of Tuwila Ipa and the fall of Samoa's peace. Samoa was a nation admired for its tranquility and strong sense of cultural identity. The people lived in harmony under stable leadership, and while no government is perfect, Samoa rarely experienced the kind of deep political or criminal crisis that would later become commonplace. But everything changed when Tuwila Ipa became prime minister in 1998. His rise to power marked the beginning of a dark political era, one plagued by corruption, fear, cover-ups, and a growing divide between the government and the people. A peaceful nation before his reign under leaders like Tafilo Edi Alisana and earlier Samoa was relatively calm. Communities were safe, the crime rate was low, and government corruption was minimal and well guarded against. There was public trust in leadership. Ministers were accountable, and traditional values still played a role in guiding political decision-making. Tuwila Ipa's first year as prime minister was marked by a national tragedy, the assassination of Luigalo Laverulakamu, the then Minister of Works. It was the first political murder in Samoa's modern history. While 3 men were convicted for the killing, including the former Minister of Communications and Minister of Agriculture, many Samoans have long suspected that the true mastermind was never brought to justice. Whispers in the village, murmurs in the Vale, and countless private discussions pointed to Tulipa's involvement, or at the very least his political gain from the tragedy. But nothing was ever proven, and he was smart enough to insulate himself behind legal walls and political alliances. From the late 1998 onward, corruption in Samoa became normalized. Contracts were handed out to close associates. Government tenders were awarded without transparency. Political opponents were targeted, silenced, or driven into exile. Tuwila Ipa maintained control by using both the law and the Fa-Samoa system to protect his circle and punish his critics. During his rule, nepotism became rampant, with many government posts going to family members or loyal allies. Journalists were threatened, and the media was constantly under pressure. Land ownership laws were tampered with, threatening customary land rights, which sparked major protests. Debts to China skyrocketed, with little to no explanation to the public on how those funds were used or repaid. Opposition was mocked and belittled, including women leaders, whom he often ridiculed in public. Tuwila did not rule with humility. He ruled with arrogance and entitlement. He positioned himself as untouchable, calling himself the father of the nation. While undermining democracy and pushing through laws to benefit himself and his party, he stayed in power for over 22 years, making him one of the longest-serving leaders in the Pacific. But instead of strengthening Samoa, those years saw the erosion of democratic values. The misuse of government funds and the rise of political fear and public silence. Tuwila eventually lost the 2021 election after a long and bitter constitutional crisis. Even after the people had voted for change, he refused to step down, claiming the election was illegal and dragging the nation into an embarrassing power struggle that nearly shattered the Constitution itself. Even out of office, he continues to stir political instability and tries to influence decisions through loyalists still embedded in the system. Tulipa's era did not begin with war, but it began with a murder. It did not explode with scandal, but it dripped with slow, calculated corruption. He took a peaceful, modest country and turned it into his personal empire. The Samoa of today still bears the scars of his leadership, socially, economically, and politically. And while some may still defend him out of loyalty or fear, the truth remains. Samoa paid a high price for his leadership.
All the time I